You're Rana, and welcome to FM Tahiti. Hope you're doing well. We've got a couple of matches in this episode in the league, so no cup matches this time around. We've got Mount T first, who are one of the teams who got promoted at the end of last season. So they were originally in the Premiership, got relegated because we beat them in the promotion playoff, and now they're back again and doing okay generally. And after that, we've got Mayao, who have been doing quite well. They've had a good run of form to begin with, whereas obviously we've not. In the matches in between, so in the last episode you saw us lose to Bora Bora. We also saw us beat Tetero in the Inter-Island Cup quarter-final. In the matches in between, we played Tetero again, but this time in the league. We drew 2-2 with a brace from Yannick Janin. And to be honest, we were unlucky to draw that one. Ben Nathu got a goal in the 90th +4, which was a bit of a kick in the teeth, but we played alright. And then we played Uapoa Catholic with the other team who got promoted. And that could have finished about 5-3 because we both had a penalty that we missed. So Gerard missed out on his hat-trick because of that. Jordan Narron used to play for us, very first season, and he scored and then got sent off. It's an eventful game for him. But again, we played pretty well. So the tweaks to the tactics seem to have made a difference. So we'll have to see how it is against Mount now. Being a bit slow. So Mount are 9th with 14 in 11, and we've got 11 in 11, so we could probably won't leapfrog them because of the goal difference, but we can at least draw level with them and start clawing away back out of the relegation playoff area. I mean, we're not technically in it now, but could get a bit more distance, hopefully. We only just about clawed our way out of it in the last couple of games. These last 2 matches we got 4 points out of the possible 6, so it's not bad. Just need to ignore all the games beforehand where we got nothing. So playing a 4-5-1, a fairly flat 4-5-1. See how we do against that. Yeah, apparently it's meant to be pouring down. It's only 25 degrees and pouring down. I made a few changes personnel-wise at the back. Well, potentially a good ball then. So Bolt's come in because he's a bit bigger and stronger. Chance in rather than Macasina or Sahlberg or whatever, because looking at his the defensive squad view I've got, he's better in the air. So Macasina and Sahlberg seem to be getting better at things like interceptions. Oh, go on, Jared, that's a good long ball. Just a bit of a tame finish. Yeah, so Macasina's better at interceptions, for example, but we tend to be conceding a lot from set pieces in the air as well, so from corners and free kicks and things. So I think for a while we need to just prioritise defenders who can actually head the ball in the air rather than just intercepting passes. So that's what we've gone with. Just have to see whether that's a good decision or not, because Macasina is meant to be better, generally, than Chant or Bolt. Chant's been with us a while, and Bolt's one of our youth products. Wait, can get this one in. Rockets it in. First goal of the season there. He's been a bit wasteful with his free kicks at the start of the season in comparison to last. Not bad. It's not exactly a goal from like a hoofball situation, but we'll take it. And if nothing else happens this game, and that's how it ends, take that as well. At the moment, points more than anything is what we want. Oh. I mean, that was... He could have cut it back and they wouldn't have been offside. That would have been better. Riches is on support as well, so he should have been at least considering it. Look at the league table there. Eels are top, then Moria, then Bora Bora, so OCL holders, followed by the inaugural Premiership winners, followed by last season's Premiership winners. Bora Bora had a bit of a bad start, but they're back up there now. Come on, Gerard. Yeah, that's a good tackle. Done some heroic things as Gerard in the past couple of games. That's not bad. Given Wallace another start to pair with Gerard, but Yannick Janin's been the kind of super sub in the last couple of games. He's changed things up. Chisholm seems to be really struggling for fitness as well for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's had a couple of starts too. Just doesn't seem to be able to keep his fitness up. A few nerves here and there, mainly for them. So I think this is a pivotal part of the season really. We need to get these points. Next couple of games we play, we need to actually claw our way back up, because I don't think we'll be able to put together much of a run that's going to actually get us into the top 2 in time for the OCL, but we just need to make sure we don't get sacked. We can rebuild next season if need be. Let's bring on Spearling for Narendana. Wallace has been quiet since he's come back from international duty. I think he popped 1 goal in, and that's been about it, but just needs to get his sharpness back, I guess. That would have been a really good chance if he hadn't been offside or unable to hit the target. He was the central defender though, so Bolt's not really meant to be scoring them anyway. Richards picked up the scramble. There's nobody in the box for Gerard to do anything with. Just running into a dead end then. That's the press working there. I think it's actually the first time for me, I mean with this save, that I've actually used any kind of counter press. I know gegenpressing's been pretty popular. Go on, Gerard. I know it's been pretty popular generally, but because I've been playing a lot of lower league or poor teams like this, I've not bothered with it because I didn't think my team could do it. To be honest, I don't think we're that good at it. But every now and again you see that kind of press and it looks quite nice, but see whether we've got the fitness for it. Go on, wait, get onto that. Get it back in. Oh, go on, Wallace. After I just spent a little bit of time saying he's not done much and he's not sharp, he's popped up with another goal. Which is good. So it means I might be able to sub Gerard off for Yannick and just give Gerard a bit of a rest. I don't want to run him into the ground because he's still quite young, really. Oh no, he's 20s. He's old enough. It's not going to be as long a season as others because we will have the OCL games probably. But unless we do particularly well, we will have the extra Mutiny Trophy game either because we've dropped points in that one. Let's bring on Yannick Gerard. That pressing forward is the position Yannick's meant to be better at. Out of target man and pressing forward, he's meant to be better at that. But when Gerard's on form, he's doing well and we need him, he has to get the nod ahead of Yannick. Spearling picking up another yellow card. Should probably make a sub. Let's get Richards off for Douglas. Up that. We don't need to make any more subs. I just realised that's all 3 now. Richards has been playing a lot of games though. He's not often been subbed either. For 90 minutes over and over again. Wait, gets it in. Weaver. Oh, Wallace, that was a nice move, really. I'm a set piece still, but still had work to do. Weaver knew what he was doing. That was definitely intentional. And again, Wallace. Just one more for his hat-trick now. They can make me eat my words about him not being sharp enough. Ooh, no. There's no clean sheet for us then. It's a good ball in. A lot of people around him, but no one urgently doing anything about it. Giving a bit too much space. Tookless popping up there. Tame header from Wallace. He'll not be getting his hat-trick like that. (3-1) there. Happy enough with that. Kind of back into the winning ways. It seems to be... Tactics seems to be doing the job so far, even if it's not perfect hoof ball, at least it's getting the results now. Come on, just call it ref. There we go. So it looks like we're on the mend. Obviously, we'll have to see what it's like in the other match, but 3-1's not bad there. Quite happy with that. Good win, lads. Good wins. So that puts us in 10th. We did actually overtake Moumpty with that. The swing in the goal difference. No, not the swing in the goal difference. It's results between teams, isn't it? Always forget that. That's fine then. So 10th, clawing away back out. We're no longer 14th. Not a huge amount of distance between us and 14th, to be honest, but at least we're not in it. So we'll come back for the next match in just a few seconds. Okay, so we're ready now for the Meow match. They are 7th. They had a really good run of form at the start of the season as well. It's dropped off a little bit for them. They're in better form across the entire season than we are, but recently we've picked up, so this might be the time to take the points from them. A few changes being forced on us as well. So Waite picked up a slight knock, so Manuel comes on. And Richards on the left, we subbed at the end of the last match. He is banned, and those are the main changes for this one. We've also had, in kind of other news, I'll go on Jared right from the off. Yeah, we've had in other news our wage budget reduced because of our financial difficulties. So, I think it's actually been reduced a few times. It started off as about 5.7 at the beginning of the season, then it went down to about 4.8. Now it's gone down to about 4.6. Oh, what a goal! But I wasn't even expecting that. I thought that had a little bit to come. Manuel. Whatever little wage budget we've got, we might as well be giving it to that guy. Make sure he stays. Get a few goal bonuses if he's going to do that. Oh, not Manuel. What I'm talking about is Wallace. Manuel did all the work, and Wallace just put it in. So Wallace has hit form, so it's 2 goals in his last match, 1 now. He's definitely one of those kind of form confidence players. I guess because he's young as well. 18. Our youth products, he doesn't look fantastic. His finishing's not great, but it was a good finish. Has he got any caps? No caps yet. He's not being called up for the Austral Islands. Well, swings it in. Bolt somehow wins the penalty, I think. Don't know what happened there. Just a slight shove. Jared's missed his last 2 penalties. Almost missed that one, I think. 11 goals for him. So he's on 44 goals in total for us. He had, 33 last season? Yeah, that was fortunate that he scored that one. I should really take him off penalty duty, I think. I'm getting, when you get the assistant manager's advice, they're suggesting Bolt should be replaced by Marquesas. Marquesas better, but I don't know, Bolt's doing alright. I think Marquesas is better generally, but actually in the air, Bolt's been doing the job, even though I don't think his heading or jumping reach is that much better. Long ball by McIntyre. Well, let's get it across. I mean, we'll take it. He could have carried on and just passed it to Gerrard because he'd have a better chance of scoring than the spot. Well, maybe he's over his issue. So that was all from that definite long ball then. Don't need to watch that again. So I think we're back in the long ball groove. The way I'm thinking about it in my head is this. First season of playing that 4-4-2 long ball in the championship worked because we weren't favourites, so we were being attacked more, had more space to get in behind. And again, our form dropped off a little bit towards the end of the season, where our rep must have been kind of increased, so more teams were a little bit more defensive against us. So we're still better than them and doing well, but it adjusted. Then Cornwallis, always very unlucky there. So yeah, then in our first season in the Premiership, we were underdogs again, so we got more space, teams were attacking us, so they came out, and then we were able to lob it over the top and do okay with it. Whereas this season, expected to finish something like 6th, done well, we're better than a lot of teams rep-wise. Got Manuel, there we go, destroying Mayao now. 2 replacements linking up Douglas to Manuel. I think now we've had this many goals scored, we don't need to watch all of the replays for them unless they're particularly special. See, last season we were underdogs for our first season in the Premiership. We were underdogs. And during the first half of the season, certainly, teams would have been attacking us, and then when the rep kind of resets at the midway point, we'd have taken a bit of a bump. And then that's when we started struggling towards the end of the season then, because teams were being more defensive kind of against us. And then the start of this season, where we were in the top 6 for rep, I think it was, more teams were sitting back and we were getting found out essentially because of that. That's the way I'm thinking about it in my head. It's not so much that the tactic itself is an issue. It was more the way teams were approaching us, so we couldn't be cautious anymore and still get the same chances because they were sitting back and we were sitting back. So there's less chances to carve out, less risky passes, less space and so on. So by going to attacking, we're kind of playing into their hands in the sense that that's what they're expecting us to do, but by doing that we're getting more chances. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. That could be absolute nonsense. But it does fit with the fact that this kind of 4-4 humping 2 that we're using, I've used tactics very similar to it in other saves, and they've been pretty successful. Promotions and titles in things like Scotland. Go on, get it in. And yeah, there's this other save I've got going on. I'm enjoying this one. I've not actually played it for a bit, but I'm 1 league game away from being unbeaten using a tactic that's like our original version of this, so with cautious mentality. I think the only big difference between the version I was using and the version I've got in that other save, which is the Scottish one with St Cuthbert or something like that, one of the really low Scottish leagues. Go on, Douglas. Let's just be pushed back there. Yeah, the only real difference was some of the full-back instructions. So I think I had the left back on automatic and the right back on support, whereas I've got them on defensive duties on this one to try and keep things a bit tighter. That's the only major difference. That and the mentality. I think we can make some changes now and rest a few people. So I'm going to bring on Jesse Thomas, a youth midfielder for Weaver, and bring on Mark Burgess, the young left back. Leave Gerard on to see if he can get his hat-trick. Scramble. So we're starting to get a bit more luck now. Good tackle by Spearling as well. Terrible touch by Wallace. I kind of just want to see the match out now. Should be good for morale. It's good for the way the league table looks as well. Still 11 points behind second place. There's enough games technically for us to make up the gap. But like practically, it's not going to be the case that we're going to win all these matches and all the teams in between us are going to lose as well. So it's, yeah, the OCL dream is gone, I think, for this season. Interesting to see how the other teams do. I imagine it's going to be the Eels and Moria in it, and the Eels will have to defend their title, which you might find easier when they get all that money from the Club World Championship. Booted along by Chant, that's what we want to see. Just clear it when in doubt. Oh, really? Unnecessary. 4-0 up, you don't need to cut across him like that. Off he goes. It is partly my fault, but just make him a wide target, man. I do have that wide target man tactic, but I've just not, because I've been fighting with getting the tactics right with the normal 4-4-2. I've not been ready to roll out that wide one more than those 2 attempts that we had, which didn't end that well. Not that badly either, but not that well, because of the personnel we had. There we go, 4-0, clean sheets, red card, all the fun of the fair. Gets us back on track. So our form's looking a lot better, so we're in 8th now with 17 points. And our November was good. Our best month so far, 10 points in total. So we'll end there, we'll end on a high. I will play probably these 3 matches, Taha, Tupai, Noraruta, and then come back for Manué and Skybrights in the semi-final. So thank you for watching. Hopefully we can keep this run going.